Sorry I'm late, buddy. I got to finish this. I'm on hold with the insurance company. Blood-sucking sons of... Oh, hello. No. I'm here. It's approved. Oh, great. So just to clarify, will she be able to pick up her prescription tonight? Or do you have some more processing that you need to do? Oh, good. Hey, would it be possible to get your direct number just in case, we need to follow up? Oh, okay. Thank you. That's very kind. Okay, yeah, just hold on. Okay, I'm ready. Oh, God, son of a... no, sorry, my pen just... Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, it's 614-891-5757. And the name is Shailene, yes? Okay. Thank you, Shailene. And Autumn and her mom, they thank you too. Okay, bye now. Sorry about that. Can you hold on just a second? I got to get this over to the office right away. Roberta, yeah, I got that inhaler thing figured out for Autumn Willis. Yeah, get that over to her mom ASAP. I know that she is anxious to get it, and take down this number just in case they need to follow up. It is 614-891-5757, and the name is Shailene. That is an actual human being at United Health. I didn't think they had any either. So, frame it and hang it above your desk. Okay, bye now. Sorry about that. Let me just turn this off and not exist for a little while. What's that? How am I doing? Well, No, it's just, I can't remember the last time someone actually asked me that question. How are you feeling today, doctor? Well, I'm having a little nagging crucifixion feeling all over my body, but other than that, I'm well, thank you. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, thank you for squeezing me in so last minute, and again, I am sorry that I'm late. Oh, no. It was nothing serious. Well, nothing any more catastrophic than usual, I should say. Just Friday morning office constipation. Should probably use a different word considering all the diarrhea that's going around. Oh, God. It's sort of a geriatric rugby match in the hallway. Yeah, it started out as a little argument between Mr. Robinson and dear old Mrs. Lott about who was first in line. See, things did get a little backed up because Mrs. Mackin was there first thing in the morning, and I have told Roberta, don't ever bring Mrs. Mackin in first thing in the morning because she always has this list that she wants to discuss, and despite the fact that she is going blind and deaf and is 91 years old, is a sort of miraculous internet wizard with Mayo Clinic updates on her iPhone's Twitter feed that she wants to share with me. And Claire has finally got Dr. Finkelstein from the insurance company on the phone to discuss the denial of Mr. Lyle's blood thinner. So she is rucking through the scrum with her phone extended for the handoff. So, just a sort of little baby boomer roller derby there in the hallway with walkers and body fluids everywhere, chasing me down as I am pounding on the gates of the insurance company with Finkelstein as a sort of burned out Monty Python Black Knight with his none shall pass. So just another day at the office, really. I'm sorry. How are you? How is lawyering? Really? Oh, that's good. Good for you. Good. Maybe I should go back to law school now that I'm finally paying off my med school loans. Right. Right. So I Jesus, is it really 4:30 already? No. It's not all right, and I am going to pay you for that lost half hour and for the rest. No, I am. Look, I got a lot to say, and I don't want you to worry about the clock. So I'm going to pay. So I can just ramble away my IRA. You know, back when you were first thinking about it, I remember I said to myself, law school, God, who wants that? That is nothing but pushing paper all day. But now it turns out that's all I'm doing half the time. But now I envy you. At least you get paid by the hour. Me, I get piecemeal by the visit. Oh, I know. That's my incentive, right? To work harder and faster and be more efficient. Sure, all of that free market hocus pocus works great for the butcher and the baker and the smartphone maker. Gets us more pork chops and bread and iPhones for cheap. But for the amputator of legs, the prescriber of pills, the prober of prostates, what is it that we are making more of exactly? Health? More hands on our privates, that's for sure. I mean, no. Think about it from my perspective just for a moment, yeah? Imagine that you come to me for a visit. Yeah, you got a problem, you want to tell me about it so that we can get to the root of it together. But now imagine that no matter how long you blab on, that I am going to get, say, $30 when the pie is all sliced up. I mean, you can imagine what might be passing through my head, even though, God, I don't want that thought to get in there. Get you out the door as quick as possible, in and out, around the clock. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. So all of that is just to say that I am happy to pay you, to be happy, to listen to me. Well, thank you. I need your advice about some things. Legal advice. And personal, I suppose. They kind of come together on this. And even though it has been too long, you know me as well as anyone anymore. God, you look great. Oh yeah, well, thank you. But I mean it, you do. You look great. Well, it's not a diagnosis or anything, just as a friend, not as a physician, so please don't turn around and sue me if it turns out you got polyps up in your pipes, Paul. But I mean it, no, you're doing great here, yeah? Is that your Jaguar out front? Oh, man. And look at the view. I didn't realize you're this close to the reservoir. Oh, look at all the ducks migrating away. Better get out before the cold comes, boys. That's some good advice, maybe. Down to their timeshares in Florida. It's nice to know that no matter how crazy life gets, the reservoir stays the same. Except down where the old guy was always feeding the ducks, they put up a big sign that says, "Don't feed the ducks." God, must be some code, you know? Health, safety, animal control, some other legal crap. Well, you know better than me. Thou shalt not feed the goddamn ducks. Now, it turns out that they're right. You see, Wonder Bread, that makes a duck fat and unable to fly. So, you see, often when we try to help, we just end up hurting things, like those ducks. Welcome to the doctor's dilemma. Yeah, love thy neighbor, that's not so easy. Do no harm. That's hard enough. Listen to me. I drove by the church on the way here, so now I am pontificating. Actually, I stopped by there a couple weeks ago after work. You know, they used to leave the old chapel open 24/7, but now it's all locked up. You ever go back? Early Christmas Eve, that's when we go too. I haven't seen you there. Oh, yes. I suppose there is an early Christmas Eve. I miss it. Yeah. Youth group, church camp, just sitting around a fire, singing songs, holding hands with a variety of girls. God. That's funny. It is. Well, I guess it's kind of sad when you think about it, right? Preaching all of that forgiveness of sins and all that to a 14-year-old, hadn't even had the opportunity to do any proper sinning. And then, you know, by the time that you've got something, could maybe use a little, can't quite conjure it up anymore. But hey, that's what lawyers are for, I suppose, to argue our innocence when we're too old for grace. Now, listen to me, I'm really rambling. All right. Avoidance and denial. Sure, I've got to deal with those all day with my patients, but that doesn't make it any easier when it's yourself. All right, I'll have to stop beating around the bush. My first piece of business. So I have this little, God, it's embarrassing to say it, and it's nothing, right? The lawyer representing the ER down in Florida, he says that it is nothing. One of my patients, yep. I hardly even call him that. He never follows up on his appointments. Anyway, I did. I prescribed him something for his blood pressure. Yeah? So he's down in his timeshare. He passes out at the beach. He ends up in the ER with an erratic heartbeat. So cardiology down there, they put him on an antiarrhythmic that does not mix with his blood pressure meds. So why would they do that? Well, they didn't get his records, right? Of course, they are going to blame that on us, but Roberta and Claire, they say that no one called. Of course, they have to deal with 1,000 faxes a month, so who knows? Anyway, here's what I make out from the ER lawyer's notes. The brand name of his blood pressure drug is Ecidrix. Yes? So they ask him what he takes. He's a little bit dyslexic, so he says Excedra. Yeah? So the resident's like, Excedrin? Yes, Excedrin. For what? For my blood. So the resident thinks he takes an aspirin a day as a blood thinner, something like that. I mean, you see how it happens. Yes, someone was sloppy, but you can see, right? Of course, none of this would happen if we just had a goddamned universal medical record, but no, we need to protect our patients' privacy, even when it kills them. Anyway, a couple weeks later, he is back in the ER with 30 beats a minute. This time his wife is there with his Ecidrix. It's a big scene with the guy's son, whose buddy is a member of your tribe. I never even knew that he was in the hospital. The family was careless. Someone at the hospital was careless. What does it have to do with me? Ah, well. Just a matter of time. That's what my dad always told me. Just a matter of time, son. Oh, hey. Speaking of my dad, I have got something here for this special occasion. Will you join me? What? I'm going to meet my wife later, too. I think I'll have a double. Yeah. What? Not on the clock? I told you I'm gonna pay you for your time. So, how about just a wee little dram, eh? Okay, look, I'm just gonna pour some in the other glass here for luck. And for auld lang syne. No, I'm not usually carrying one of these in my bag. Not yet. This was the bottle that my dad gave me as a sort of graduation gift when we were in Scotland. Yeah. I finished up at medical school, and he tells me that he wants to show me the ancestors, literal and spiritual. The McQueens, we come from the Isle of Skye. Ah, that is a glorious place. Anyway, we get over to Edinburgh, and he tells me this is where it all began. Yeah, modern medicine, that's what he's talking about, but also modern economics, modern thought, all of it in this one wee little nation. So we did the castle and the palace and all of that, but my dad's favorite spot was the Museum of Surgery. And my dad, he's not the type to bristle, but he bristled about the early history of our art. The art of medicine. He still calls it that. Idolizing the courage of those early Scots, dissecting their way through the dark ages with nothing but the light of common sense, well, a big pile of cadavers carved up for posterity. They did. They mapped out the whole human anatomy over the course of a decade. Anyway, we finish up at the museum, and he takes me over to this whiskey shop, and we sit up on a couple stools, and we talked more in 10 minutes than we have all our lives. Real talk. Tells me he's proud of me, the man that I've become at the ripe old age of 25, and we have a quite profound monosyllabic Midwestern father and son, hand on the shoulder kind of a moment, and he calls to the shopman and he asks for something from the Isle of Skye, this smoky blend of the purest water and soiled peat. And he puts the bottle in front of me and he tells me that I am pursuing the noblest profession that a man can choose, and he knows that I'm going to make it. And his hand is on the bottle, and he says, now, son, I want you to keep this, and I want you to remember that I told you that someday you are going to make a mistake. Someday you are going to hurt someone, maybe your patient, your family, maybe yourself, and you're going to stand at a crossroads, and you're going to doubt that you are on the right path, and you're going to have to make a choice, and no one's going to be able to make it for you. There's not even going to be a right choice, but still, you are going to have to choose. And in that moment, you are going to find out what it means to be alone. And in that moment, you are going to find out what a doctor is. And when that time comes, and once you take down this bottle and pour yourself a dram, and remember that I stood in that same spot before you. So, here I am. Here's to my dad, huh? To the good doctor. The good doctor. Looks like some kind of goddamn form letter, you know? Lynch and Crabtree, those are their actual names. Some paralegals filling in the blanks. I'm just spaghetti on the wall to them. See, they're going after the hospital, so they figure that they might as well shake my tree too. My deductible is $5,000, so they think that I'd rather just pay them the hush money, but God, to hell with them. Sending that guy to my office in his gray suit, making all my patients nervous, and he's looking at me like I'm some kind of, to hell with him. Do you do this kind of thing? Good. Ah, it makes me so nervous. Someone snooping around in your closet. Every doctor's got a closet, believe me. Does wonders for my atrial fibrillation. And this is, I mean, compared to something, you know, I mean, something really, this is, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. I don't know why it's got me so. If you work for the hospital, they take care of this kind of thing. Oh, yeah. The hospital's got a whole army of lawyers. Which brings me to my second piece of business. I have an offer from the hospital to sell my practice. Just be an employee. Stop fighting everything. Oh, it's a huge decision, and I haven't told anyone, so please. I think Kate will be pleased. Stability, benefits, regular hours. But my dad is not going to understand. I mean, he built our practice. All of those years of trust just. Maybe I should just wait until he. Oh, no. He's doing fine. He's in assisted living since he fell. It's a great place. It's over on Sawmill. It's like summer camp all year round, but without Jesus, believe me, you would not believe the late blooms of chlamydia going on over there. That's not really his scene. But I thought about bringing him home, but it would just be him with Kate and the kids. That's a lot to ask of everyone, and he'd feel like he was imposing. Well, so would she. I don't know what he would feel. Is that your recent picture? No, it's just, you all look so goddamn happy. Good. That's good. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. You know, it's been too long since we all, sometime we should, yeah? Go on a picnic or something. Show the kids all the crazy stuff that we used to do back in the woods there. God, my kids, they don't do any of that. No. She has got them more regimented than me. They've got their piano lessons and their Mandarin lessons and lacrosse and yoga for kids, $20 a pop, and robot camp. Yeah, I don't know if that's where they make the robots or they're turned into them, but well, she's researched it, and it's the right kind of camp for her Ivy League campaign. I don't know sometimes, you know, building out our 10-year-old's resume. I mean, God forbid that they should end up merely middle class, right? What she doesn't realize is that we are all of us in the disposable middle class now, unless you are a billionaire or a hospital executive. Oh, God, listen to me. How's this going to work? I haven't even accepted their offer. I'm not even working over there yet, and I'm already complaining about them. Anyway, I want you to take a look at their offer. All right, it's I don't have any illusions that this is going to solve everything, but man, I have got to try to do something about all of this. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no, this is perfect. This is perfect. This sums it up right here. Yes. You see, this is my life. Chasing around after all of this. Oh no, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. What do you mean, am I sure? Yes, I am sure. Would you stop asking me that, huh? It's patronizing, all right? I mean, yeah, maybe I wish that my life were a little more perfect like yours, but I'm fucking fine, man. I'm sorry. You're my friend. Oh, God. You hear about this kind of thing happening to a doctor. You talk about it in your third year, burnout. But that's not me. That's not me. I'm not one of those. I got my dad's example. He never lost his. Yeah, well, things aren't the way that they were for him. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not some kind of depressive or something. Yes, Bill. Yes, this is really happening to you. Sometimes on a 25 patient day, I do. I sit at my desk and I eat my 8-minute lunch and I look at that pile of forms and folders and reports, the mountain of refills and labs to be checked for side effects. I got one hand on hold with WellPoint and the other is emailing my wife an affidavit about why I am not more present in our marriage. And yes, in the middle of all this crap, I see my open window and we are up there on the 5th floor. And it is not that I want to harm myself. It's just that all of this shit will just disappear if I just climb out. But fortunately, I'm kind of a coward about physical pain, and 5 floors will probably do the job, but maybe not. Probably not right away. You'd have to go head first for that, and I'm more of a stick your toes in the water kind of guy. It's a good thing I'm not an anesthesiologist. They know how to make an easy exit. Anyway, no, it's not me, it's not me. And the thought passes, and I sit up, and I take the test, and I beat it, mostly. And I've always passed. I've always passed. You give me whatever kind of test that you want. Medical school, that is no joke. And then you got your internship, you got your residency. God, those are the limits of what a person can take. So you figure you can do that, you can do anything, right? But over time, I guess that last week was just the final. The final. There was nothing special about the day, really. A guy named Ralph, taking care of his family for 10 years. His wife was diagnosed a little while back, and I referred them to the best oncologists that I know. I checked in, it's never as much, there's just no time. Anyway, she had really bad complications, some last-minute procedure. They get stuck with a $75,000 bill out of network. Their savings are wiped out. They're just trying to stay in their home while she's fighting for her life, and all that I can do is just watch. Just watch them drown. And that is not why I went to medical school. So Ralph came by last week. Claire interrupted my exam to tell me. And I told her, look, I do not get paid to just sit there and listen, Paul. And it's a 30-patient day. I got a pile of letters. The EMR is clogged up. And everyone is waiting for me. And Claire whispers that Ralph is in the waiting room, and his wife died last week, and he would just like to come in and sit and talk to me about it for a few minutes. And no, I can't do that. So she did. She sent him away. I've been his doctor for 10 years, and I didn't have 10 minutes to give him so that he could tell me that his wife died. I don't have any goddamn time. No, 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 that's not it. That's not it. I don't have any. I can't feel anything anymore for anyone. And I haven't passed the test. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Palpitations. Left atrium's flopping around like a fish again. Nobody knows what causes it, really. Too much caffeine or booze or alienation. Oh, no, 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 no. It's not serious. It's good. It's good. I mean, hey, if I can feel it, I guess that's means that it's still in there somewhere. There we go. Back to normal. It's a liability, really. I mean, more and more, what's needed is something not human. Something that can smile, but on the inside, an insect. With good bedside manner. Something to walk into the room and offer his sympathetic antenna and scuttle out and forget and repeat 25 times without reflection. It starts to feel normal. Normal. Got to have a drink or two to get back to myself. And when I do, Paul, it just blows my mind, the expense, the waste of it. These armies of insects battling over bills. I mean, you have got to go back to Stalin for this kind of bureaucracy, but now, Americans, we don't mind a gulag as long as it is privately run. You know, I was in France a couple summers ago with Kate. Yeah, a costly form of couples therapy. Airing out our differences over the Michelin menus of the world's most romantic vistas. Anyway, despite her acing her French AP test, she ordered her cassoulet with the shellfish. We end up outside of a doctor's office in Normandy, right? So I open the door, I walk in, and there is nothing there but a couple of chairs and a man sitting behind a desk. Is the doctor in? That's what I thought I said. The look on his face tells me that I might have farted instead. Where else would the doctor be? He says. Confused, I say, can we please see him? His nose lowers in amusement. Oui, I believe you can see him. C'est moi. The reason that I was so confused, Paul, it was inconceivable to me. There was no one in that doctor's office but the doctor. You see, there was no one there to handle the insurance and the records and the bills. There was no one but him. And when he was done examining my wife, we told him that we don't have any traveler's insurance. So he points to this chart on the wall. The prices are all listed, the same as in Versailles or the slums of Paris. Apologies, but you must pay the full amount. So I brace myself for the bill. 23 euros total. He was unrushed and he was friendly despite being French. And I could tell that he did. He practiced the art of medicine. It's incredible. How's that possible? Here in the land of the free and private enterprise, I cannot even afford to work for myself anymore. And over there in the cesspool of socialism, that guy's driving around in his little golf cart still making house calls. Like my dad used to. It's too bad that we're so far away from everything, you know? I mean, you do. You go abroad for the sights, sure. But if you are lucky, what you really see is yourself. And what I saw in that mirror, my reflection, was an overqualified Post-it note attendant. Like this one I took care of on the way over. And this is nothing special. This is just the example from today. This young girl came to see me last week, Autumn. She's a sweet kid. Autumn can't breathe so well. So I did. I prescribed her the one drug that is both safe enough and strong enough. Yeah? Next day, Mom calls to say that the pharmacist says, that the insurance company says that we need to get a pre-approval. And there is no fast lane on that phone menu for me or my nurse, Cindy. 16 years of training between us, and we are stuck on a phone menu designed by Hieronymus Bosch. So we finally get through. There's some kid on the other end of the line, just out of high school. I don't see that drug on my chart. So Cindy suggests to him that there is no Z in asthma. So she is put on hold for 15 minutes to speak to, oh my God, one of the creatures that they have over there, some burned out MD who has gone over to the dark side. Anyway, at the end of this superfluous ritual, the week of me paying Cindy to wait on hold, and then me on hold in the car, they approved the drug, right? Yeah, we won the battle. Hey. But no, because this is a war of attrition, my friend, and they did. They taught me a lesson. If I want it, I have got to want it really bad, because, they're going to make it hard for me every step of the way, and sometime I am not going to step up to the plate, not because it's not medically necessary, but because I'm just too goddamn exhausted to deal with it. Yeah. Or maybe someone does forget to return a call. I wonder how many people die every year because a Post-it note falls through the cracks of a cubicle. And you know who pays for all this? Back and forth, wrestling over the bills. You do. And Cindy's got more important things to do, like medicine, for example, and I can't afford to hire another nurse. So I get the Bluetooth hooked up in my Lexus to help out with these pre-approval calls to and from work, 45 minutes a day, on hold mostly, cultivating my appreciation for the musical stylings of Kenny G and Yanni. But tomorrow, Autumn is going to be able to breathe easier. And she's a great kid. She is a sweet kid. She's always riding around on her little scooter in the parking lot when she can breathe. If we just give her the right treatment, she's going to go out and conquer the world, I tell you. So that's why you do it. That's what gets you up in the morning. A kid comes to you like that, open and vulnerable. Their life is in your hands, and for a few moments you do. You have the privilege to be of real service to another human being, and it's a special kind of intimacy that you don't get anywhere else. So you do it for the kids. They still trust you. They look up to you. Not their parents. Oh, no. The adults. More and more, they're just like me to give me the fisheye, like I am some kind of crook or a swindler, or worse, the customer's always right kind of an attitude. Or I get a letter from Mr. DeVoe. Lived up the street from me as a kid. Oh, you remember, we went over to his pool in the summertime, right? Well, now, Mr. DeVoe, he is outraged at me, charging $125 for 15 minutes. He tells me that my dad would be ashamed of me. And you know what Medicare actually pays me to take care of Mr. DeVoe and his 5 chronic conditions? $50. With which I got to pay Cindy and Claire and Roberta and Rick, who handles the accounting, and I provide them all their benefits and the rent and the malpractice and the EMR fees and the licensing fees, at the end of which, if everything goes smoothly, I can keep our little shop open for another couple months. So yes, Mr. DeVoe, I do need your stupid $15 copay. Of course, I want to take care of him. He taught me how to do cannonballs, for God's sake. But look, if we don't bloat the bills out, as much as possible, the insurance company is going to use it as an excuse to pay me peanuts. That's just the opening bid. Nobody pays that. Unless you don't have any insurance. Or you get caught out of network like Ralph and his wife. I am a lousy businessman, Paul. I never wanted to deal with any of that. Makes me so tense. So I was the first one to sign up for the computers. Digitizing the electronic medical record. Oh yeah, that was supposed to take care of all that busy work, the business side of things. But no, God, I can spend half of my day inside of that thing. They have 14 different codes in there for 14 different kinds of ankle sprains, for God's sake. 3 kinds of injuries from flaming water skis. Not to mention the tendinitis that I've developed trying to find the proper code for Mrs. Mackin's dire encounter with her vacuum cleaner. And if I don't find that exact code, I don't get paid for my efforts. I used to look at people's faces. Now it's screens. I heard the patient's voice. And now there's a whole chorus of whispers in the room with me. The claims analyst, the entitlement bureaucrat, the pharmaceutical rep, the lawyers. All of them are whispering in my ear. So how am I supposed... You see, my dad, he always said that medicine is a trust that you have got to earn by listening. But how can I through the whispers and the tick, 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 tick? You know, since he retired, I spent a lot of time looking through my dad's old accounts. And he got paid twice as much for a basic visit. Yeah, and he lived a comfortable upper middle class life, and you know, that's how I grew up, that's what I'm used to. So if I want to live like that, I have got to see twice as many people. Oh, the MBAs and the bureaucrats, they love that, right? That's efficiency. But no, it's not efficient because I don't have any time to think. A million different codes in there, and somehow they forgot that one. Do you know what I get paid well for? What they have me hoping walks into my office every day? Boils. Oh yeah, bring me your boil to lance or your pimple to freeze off. Then I get to bill like a surgeon for 4 minutes of work. But if you come in with some kind of pain in your neck, a weird rash and stomach cramps, well, it takes a little bit of a very sophisticated medical procedure called talking to get to the custody battle and the boxes of wine and donuts and the autoimmune complications. It takes time to put things together up here. But how do you measure that? Huh? What's the code for that? There are some values that can't be measured. That when you measure them, you distort them. And all that measuring, that doesn't make me a better doctor. It just means more paperwork, which means more overhead, which means more patience, which means less time, which means... Yeah. Maybe someone might fall through the cracks. And I'm the one that's got to live with that when, God forbid, something should happen. And yeah, I don't want to get any more of these letters from you guys. So now if anyone complicated comes in at all, I don't have any time to think about it. I just got to punt them out to the specialists for their merry-go-round of EKGs and CTs and MRIs. Oh yes, all of the various ATMs of the hospitals and the large physician groups. And all this while, I have got a flood of people coming in with this nasty, chronic stuff, most of which is preventable. And I know if I just had the time to know them, not just their parts, but who they are, I could. So why don't I? I'm a kid with his fingers in one of those Chinese traps. Everyone's pulling at my elbows. I'm 45 years old, right? I'm finally paying off my student loans just in time to start saving so that my kid can go to Stanford or Yale or wherever he wants. And why shouldn't we eat out if we want? I've earned it. And yeah, why shouldn't I get to drive a nice car? And you know what? You know what? Mexico is kind of a dirty dump these days. Why shouldn't we get to vacation in the Seychelles? Yeah. These are the compensations that I enjoy, I suppose. Denied the possibility of integrity. And when I look ahead, Paul, I don't see a light. I see a gaping black hole of baby boomers demanding the all-you-can-eat buffet of care. But who's going to care for them? Huh? Who's going to listen to their complaints and their senile ravings and their smelly, leaky, failing bodies? Who is going to listen to them? Oh, there'll be an assembly line. Sure. There will be probes and scans and procedures and intubations and electric jolts and cutting and dissecting and beautiful machines that keep them going in the end. Slowly turning them into the image of themselves. Beautiful, efficient, mindless machines for making money. Listen to me. How did I get this way? I used to be so... I'm ashamed of my cynicism. If I could open myself up and cut it out, I would, but that is an operation not taught in medical school. Dad, is this what you came to? Well, he never had to deal with any of this. Chasing after a copay. He could do it for whatever he wanted. He could do it for a carton of eggs. Yes, a carton of eggs. If he wanted. It was, must have been December. Yeah, and we had that great sledding hill, you remember, and my brother was teaching me to go down standing up, and we were having a great time, insulated from the cold in our snowsuits and innocence. Anyway, Dad's horn goes, and we turn, and we see him coming down the lane in his Dodge K-car. And he always made it a point to drive the cheapest, most nondescript car that he could find just to get from point A to point B. If people saw him in a Cadillac, they'd think he was in it for the money. That might ruin their trust in him. That was his thinking. Anyway, he honks the horn. We run up the hill. He pops the trunk, and in the back there are 10 or 11 dozen eggs, all stacked up in these open cardboard crates like some strange treasure in a picture book. And I'm thinking, my God, someone gave my dad all of this just for his time. Carefully says, and we do, we load up our arms cradling these eggs, and Mom's at the stoop as we come up. And where'd all those come from, she says. Mr. Auburn, he says. What for? Mrs. Auburn. Oh, is she all right? She's fine now. She had a little bit of a scare. Oh, well, what was it? And then he winked at me, and he said, like he always would, well, that is between her and her doctor, dear. And my brother, he cracked the eggs, right? And I got to beat them, and we did. We made this whole mountain of these custard creams, which we took to the homerooms and the office, and all of the Sunday school classes, and Mrs. Auburn, she came by after Sunday school, and I always thought she was just this mean old lady, she always had this scowl. But on that morning, she put her hand on my arm, and she handed me this beautiful knitted pot holder that she made. "This is for your mother," she said. And when she turned to go, well, she still had the scowl, but her eyes were smiling. And I knew that it was because of my dad, and I knew that I wanted to do that too. And there was this reciprocity. Sounds like a Hallmark or something. But it was really like that. At least that's what I remember as a kid. Who knows what he was really going through? It's a bit late in the day to ask. No, he's doing all right. He is. But the mind, it slips quick. And he's so sharp that you really notice. He always liked to work with his hands. If he wasn't a doctor, he'd been a carpenter, and he had that kind of a touch in the exam room, right? Hands that know what's wrong with you, hands that make you feel all right. Yeah, we don't have that anymore, just keyboard pokers and mouse clickers. Anyway, he liked, with his own hands, to do his chores, painting the house, fixing the fence, cleaning out the goddamn gutters. He did. He mentioned that they're backed up. And I said I'd call someone, or, I'd take care of it myself, but I just kept putting it off, or the Post-it note fell through the cracks. He didn't want to wait, I guess. I found him there at the foot of the ladder in soiled underwear. That's hard, the first time that you see your dad like that, and he's not saying anything, he's just looking at me, trying to hold in the pain, but his eyes are saying, well, here I am at last in someone else's hands. And you realize it's on you now to take care of things, and you realize that the strength that you thought that he had as a kid, it's just like this. It's not strength at all. It's just there's no one else who's going to take care of things. Either you are going to step up or it's not going to get done. It is in your hands now. And you know what, Paul? That is where we all are, even though we don't realize it. I mean, what are we going to do when all of these baby boomers can't step up anymore? Who are we going to be? I mean, the guy on the radio is talking about cutting Medicare. What does that say about us? What are we going to do? Send him off to the dog food factory? I know what my dad would do. He would step up and he would give his best, even if it's going to be too much, even if he is not going to be enough. So that is where I am, you see, at the crossroads with this. You see, the hospital, they are going to help out with the insurance and the billing and the records and if something, well, they have a whole school of lawyers to hide all of my mistakes in their endless motions, and I will just be able to practice the art of medicine, right? Yes, oh God, I can make it look great in my imagination. Yeah, vacations, Saturdays, a work week, time with my dad, my kids, saving my marriage, maybe. Yeah, but you hear other stories, good and bad. The language around termination, it's a little vague. And this guy that I know in Houston, right? He did. He sold his practice to the hospital. Yeah, so he starts working there. And the guys upstairs, they start writing him about his productivity, right? He spends too much time with his patients. They want him to churn the widgets out a little faster. So a little more time goes by, and they let him go. And he is out on his ass, but now his practice, well, now that belongs to the hospital. So I want to know, can they do that to me? Huh? It's right here. It's in the contract here. It's termination. covenant not to compete. I don't even know what it is. What it is that I really want you to say. It's just that my dad, he told me that I was going to make it. I just want someone to tell me that I'm going to make it. But the truth is, either way, it's not going to be any better over there. I know what they want. I know what goes on over there. There'll be a guy there with his MBA and his spreadsheet and his time sheet standing over me. Oh, you got to see more patients and send for more tests. Here. We'll make it easy for you. Just use our system. Just use our network. We can do the test. And the more that they make you see, the more that you're scared that you might have missed something, the more you need to reach out for help to their specialists with all of their wonderful, expensive tests to make your job easier. Don't think. Just check the box. Stop trying to understand. It's bigger than you are. You got a team now. We got your back. Just your name, just your signature for the drug, the test, the operation. Come on. Help get the bodies up on the conveyor belt for the merry-go-round. No. I am not going to do that. I am not going to be their pimp. I'm going to fight to the end for my practice. I've just got to figure out a better model, a better process to deal with the insurance and the records and the meaningless, useless tests and the horrible, awful clock. Yes. Time. I am going to make more time. But first, I got to deal with all of you guys. This phony lawsuit. Just a bunch of bullshit. Reaching into my pocket. All of you guys are just living off of us. Well, I'm sorry, but I do feel that way. No, I'm not going to settle down. No, you sit down, Paul. You listen to me. I fucking save lives for a living. And you guys, you just sit there behind your desk and your books and you play these little word games with people's lives. And I am trying to save lives. And you guys are nailing me with this petty shit. This is nothing. You have no idea the things that I do. The things that I have to do for all of you. This is nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. So why am I waking up in the middle of the night if it's nothing? I can't fight this. It's on my hands. Not this, something else. Something that no one knows about but me. God, forgive me. Oh, God, forgive me. I don't think that he's listening anymore, Paul. So will you? It was a longtime patient that I inherited from my dad. We went to school with his son, John Mosier, a couple of years ahead of us. Anyway, Mr. Mosier, he came in for his annual, and I don't remember the details. All I can remember from that time are the fights at home and at work, the papers and the forms and the folders all piled up on my desk. But somewhere in the middle of all of that is Mr. Mosier's electrocardiogram. And I look at 100,000 reports a year, and I do good work in the morning. I'm a good doctor. Just after my coffee. I'm a good doctor from 9 to noon. So 6 months later, John calls to say that his dad is in the ICU with anoxic brain damage from cardiac arrest. And I do. I look through his folder to see if there's anything that will help the hospital. And then I see the EKG. The flailing lines of his heart are screaming out for help. And then I see the word normal. And underneath is my name, my signature. It's obviously a tight stenosis of the left coronary artery. A first-year intern would recommend aggressive intervention, but there it is, just this one wrong word. A sentence of death. And the Mosiers, they never even bring it up. Mr. Mosier's in a nursing home. He doesn't know me anymore. He doesn't know anyone. But John still comes in for his annual, and he shakes my hand, and he looks me in the eye, and for him, everything is still normal, but for me, never, 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 never again will I be normal. And I have got to carry that lie with me all day, every day, for the rest of my life. So, what do you advise, Paul? Legally. How can I fight this one? What? Supposed to proclaim my innocence? I mean, what would my dad think of the care that I gave to John's dad? I just hope that my dad's doctor gives better care than me. But he looks at 100,000 reports a year, too. Just a matter of time before he wins the lottery, too. Oh, God. I'm sick with it. Bad medicine. You think it's me, but I'm just a canary in a coal mine. All of us get a D in the end. But no. It's not a test. It's just a machine. And my taking the test is the fuel that it runs on. My wanting to help people is the fuel for this mindless machine. And when it breaks down, I'm the one that, no. See, there I go again. Avoidance and denial. That's not going to help. Because it was me at the end of the day. It was me. You know what, Paul? I don't think a lawyer is what I really need right now. You hold on a second. There's something that I got to do. Roberta, could you get me John Mosier's number, please? Yeah, just text it over. Yes, John Mosier, please. John, this is Bill McQueen speaking. I'm okay. I was wondering if you had any time tomorrow. It's about your dad. No. His condition hasn't changed, but I need to share with you about some mistakes that were made while he was under my care. Yeah. Yes, it is. I understand. I am so sorry. My schedule's open. 3 o'clock. I can come to you if you prefer. Okay. Bye now. Just can't carry it all on my own anymore, Paul. Hello, yes, this is William McQueen's son speaking. Could you put me through to his room, please? Hey, Dad, it's Billy. I'm okay. I was wondering if you might stand a visitor tonight. Well, do you remember that bottle that you gave me when we were in Scotland? You do. I finally had to open it up tonight. No, there's still some left. Sure. I'll bring an extra glass. Thanks, Dad. I'll see you soon. Well, I guess that we went over the hour, huh? How much is that worth? Let's call it 2. 2 hours with my friend who knows me. Priceless. Oh, God, I'm not sure what to do with all this. Yeah, I think I will come back next week if you'll see me. Thank you, Paul, for listening to me. You know what? I think I'll go down to the reservoir for a little bit. Walk it off with the birds. You'll look down and the man with the ducks will be me. See if I can get my wings working again. Get up there into the blue. Look down for a little bit. I think I can remember the way.